But Paddy isn't the first of the Kellys to contemplate a solo career. His younger sister, Maite, took a few steps down that particular career path before him, but that's a fact that won't surprise anybody who knows Maite. She's not an easy character to tie down. In fact, it might be easier to tie down a tornado. Maite is what you might call a force of nature.
She's overwhelming life, just a bomb of life, like an explosion of life, like a very overwhelming in many ways. When she sits here, you're not going to be able to just ignore her, you know?
Ask me a question. I'll answer it for you.
Just tell us, Mikey, do you ever get bored touring?
Oh, no, never. Never. I'm an actress.
My main passion is even more than on stage, to be honest, is writing a song. So what happens is when I go to normal places, I suck in people, you know, and then I go home and I write. I'm always writing. See the angels at her side. When I was a kid, I just went along. And then there was a time I said, wait a minute, what is really important to me? Is this what I really want? Some go-alonger, you know? I don't want to be a go-alonger. I want to have a free will. I want to choose. There was a time where I want to leave the band and say, guys, I want a normal life and the whole deal, and tried it. Didn't work. So I went to the States. I had a band. I recorded demos, and I didn't have much money, you know. I went to school, and I had 4 things going at the same time. And then, before I did my first gig with my band, the bassist said, "Fuck off. You're a bitch." And then I came back, and I had one of the biggest management agencies here in Cologne, very, very interested, and we were talking. I almost signed up. Really, I mean, I had a record deal, and they offered a lot of money, really a lot of money, and I refused it. I'm not a hero. I got scared. And I didn't know why I got scared. And now Paddy's going through this, making the steps that I pulled back from, and I'm so happy I said no. So happy I said no. As a soloist, as a solo artist, it's not appealing.
And you sit and you go like, wow, that's incredible. You just go like, holy mackerel. Where did she come from now? She'll do the most stupid things you can do, and the next day she'll do the greatest things that any one of us wouldn't get close to it on stage. You know, she'll there and then break barriers. It's like her therapy room or something. You know. Sometimes she'll take a song for 15 minutes and goes on a huge ego trip, and you go like, oh, come on now, you know? And that really, Angelo just goes nuts, you know? Angelo's there. And after the show, whenever she does that, he goes, right, you do it one more time, I'm going to walk off stage, and you can just continue it by yourself, you know? He still hasn't walked off stage, but I've seen him being right at the edge of it.
This is our audience, and this is the biggest choir I have ever sang with. Are you guys ready to sing? Are you guys professionals? Are you guys pop stars?
I would call it a healthy competition, because like if Maite comes up with something that you say, oh, that was cool, it makes you think about yourself, like maybe I should think of something too. But you know, if somebody does something that you don't think is cool, You go, that was bad, boo, boo, that was crap. So we do, you know, we do pick on each other, but we do also admire each other. You know, when Angelo does a good drum solo, you go, wow, that's good, Angelo. Or I don't know, if Jimmy will sing really good or just get the audience really in his hand, you go, hey, makes me have to work harder. So I think it's a healthy competition because it's constant growth going on, you know.
I'm leaving these guys. That's it. Finito. The truth is, I don't know anything. I don't even know what's going on here. Can you figure it out? Can you figure out what's going on? I can't figure it out. I don't understand. I really don't understand why we still, how we still manage to get on stage together. I don't get it. You know, in spite of all the arguments, all the disagreements, all whatever you want to call it, all the human reasons why it's impossible to get 6 brothers and sisters together. I think I always get surprised. I always think, my God, it's today is the last day. I always think this next week I'm out of here, you know. And we still, like, and I've tried to leave like a million times.
You guys make me sick.
Ruining my fucking shit.
I'm like all day kissing ass. All fucking day I'm kissing.
One reason why all this still works lies in the organisation.
You're a manager of Divas.
I mean, what a wreck. They're really whipping me out.
None of this happens by accident.
Joyce is signed for somebody else.
Only in the movies do the band turn to each other and say, let's do the show right here. Well, only in the movies and in the early days of the Kelly family, but not now. There's a very serious and a very professional organisation behind the Kellys. Concerts and tours don't organise themselves, and at the top of all such organisations there usually sits a manager.
Joy! Our manager!
Every band needs a manager. The Beatles had Epstein, the Rolling Stones Oldham, U2 have Paul McGuinness. The list goes on. The best band managers tend to attract labels like imposing, dogged, volatile, ruthless even. In the brave new world of the New Look Kelly family, things are slightly different, but many of the management duties fall into Joey, who's happy to bask in the warm glow of his siblings' thanks and appreciation.
I mean, booking concerts is the last job you want to have. You know why? Because every day that passes is a new day you have to book, right? And you're only as good as your last tour. You always get complaints. Nothing is good enough. It obviously has to be always sold out. It always has to be big. Why are we playing in a smaller venue? Last year we played in the same town in a bigger venue. Or the venue was sold out. Why isn't it sold out this time? Who fucked up? It isn't like, oh, it's sold out. You did a great job. None of that. It's always like, it's never good enough.
If it's hard to label any of the Kellys, and it is, it's especially hard to label Joey. Joey is demanding, but he demands of others no more than the same level of commitment and effort that he demands of himself. But you're talking about a man who competed in and completed 9 Ironman tournaments in one calendar year. And armed with that little nugget, you can start to appreciate how difficult it might be to satisfy those demands.
We're touring, we're making money. The last record didn't sell bad, and what more do you want? We can keep this level, and this year we got different projects coming up. The summer tour is working out. I got already 20, 30 concerts booked. We're gonna have 50 concerts booked for the summer, open airs, festivals, everything. And for the Christmas, we've got a complete new concept. That's work. It's a huge challenge. We played 46 concerts or 50 concerts in Germany last year. Any band, Bryan Adams, the biggest German bands, whatever you call it, if they played every year 50 concerts in Germany, they wouldn't fill half of what we're filling. That's the truth. So in fact, we're the biggest band in Germany there is, you know what I'm saying? And they don't have a chance against us. I mean, they go on tour every 2-3 years, they play 20 concerts, they fill like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, 8,000 people. I mean, the long run, the amount, we are more than double. We are the biggest band. Still, you know what I'm saying? After 10 years of an Angel or Over the Hump, you know what I'm saying? That's a fact.